My dear friends, the gospel text is from Mark chapter 10 from verse 2 to 12. It recounts a question by the Pharisees to Jesus on divorce and the response by Jesus. The theme is, what God has joined together, let no one separate. It is my aim to explain the question posed by the Pharisees and also to explain the response given by Jesus. Marriage, we know, is a divine institution. The passage begins on the note that the Pharisees questioned Jesus by asking, is it lawful for a husband to divorce his wife? The text gives us a hint by indicating that the motive behind the question was actually to trap Jesus. And we may wonder why this question is a trap to Jesus. John the Baptist, we know, was beheaded because of his teaching against Herod Antipas. Herod Antipas had divorced his wife and had subsequently remarried, and it was a marriage to the half-brother's wife, Herodias. John, by his preaching, declared that unlawful. Now, history has it that John the Baptist was martyred close to Jesus' current location for this question, which is the east of the Jordan River, at the fortress of Herod Antipas. What this means is that if Jesus should say that divorce was lawful, he will contradict the teaching of the great prophet John the Baptist. And if he should say divorce was unlawful, he puts himself in danger. In that case, he too could be murdered like John the Baptist. So Jesus, knowing very well the trap set for him by the Pharisees, responded with a counter question by asking them what Moses permitted them to do on the matter. They responded that Moses permitted a husband to write a bill of divorce and dismiss the wife when he was displeased with her. Deuteronomy chapter 24 verse 1. One may wonder what the passage means when it talks about the man displeased with a wife. In other words, what constitutes an offense for a man to use as a ground for his divorce? It is worthy of note that among the rabbis, there was much debate on the matter. So at the end of the day, there were two schools of thought. One school, headed by Rabbi Shammai, posited that sexual immorality was a good reason for a man to use to divorce his wife. The other group, headed by Rabbi Heller, said or thought that divorce was permitted even if the woman burnt the husband's dinner or was less attractive than someone else. This reveals the confusion among the Jews when it comes to this subject matter on divorce. And the question is, how fair is this to women? Jesus then explained that Moses permitted divorce because of their stubbornness of heart, or in other words, the hardness of heart. Now, the hardness of heart should remind us of Pharaoh. He was described as such. What it means is that the Jews, like Pharaoh, had become so obstinate that they were not ready to listen to God anymore. Divorce was therefore a concession and not the norm. Jesus referred them to the beginning by quoting the book of Genesis chapter 1 and chapter 2, when he said, God made them male and female. Hence, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two become one flesh. In this case, they are no longer two, but one flesh. Then Jesus added, therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate. My dear friends, Jesus by this proclaims permanence to be the divine intent from the beginning concerning marriage. In other words, the union between a man and a woman in marriage is forever. This means that divorce was not part of the divine plan when it comes to marriage. Knowing how serious and controversial this might be, the disciples questioned Jesus on the matter in the privacy of a house. Jesus then said to them, "Whoever divorces his wife and marries another commits adultery. And if she divorces her husband and marries another, she too commits adultery." What we gather is the core principle of marriage. And Jesus would like the disciples to know that, like Prophet Malachi, that God hates divorce. Malachi chapter 2, verse 16. My dear friends, marriage is meant to be for life. That is why during the exchange of consent, the man and the woman pledge for better, for worse, till death do us part. Divorce, therefore, betrays the divine purpose of marriage. Our prayer, therefore, is that God will continue to grant special favor to all couples, and especially to those who have challenges in their marriages. And for those who are yet to enter into marriage, may God grant them the grace to discern properly before entering into marriage. For what God has joined together, no one can separate. May God bless you. Amen.